So there's a really good number of us here. So I just want to officially welcome you to our very first virtual members meeting for Ayrshire Business Women. Yay! We made it. It's, you know, like, I'm really excited about the future ahead of us because, you know, I definitely have embraced this as a new year. We've got lots of new women on board and hopefully lots of new business opportunities. You're eating chocolate already. That's great. But you know, I think we've worked very hard in the background the last 2 to 3 months to get things up and running again. You know, obviously a lot of things went by the wayside last year, and I mean, nearly every committee member had their own personal difficulties to deal with, you know, and we did lose our secretary during the lockdown. I kind of went into hibernation myself for about 4 or 5 months. And really at the end of the day, Mary was really left with everything, but she also has a young daughter, Ruby. I think she's only 5 years old. So she also had her at home full time. And her husband is just preparing to go off overseas on a permanent basis to work. So she's had a lot on her plate as well. But, you know, I think that she's certainly done her best in terms of, you know, trying to stay in touch with the members. But I think unfortunately it's just one of those things where she had to kind of self-isolate because they had COVID symptoms for a while. And yeah, so, you know, we were definitely well aware that a lot of people have had their own personal difficulties, and we kind of in one sense left people alone because the engagement was just very low. She did try and organise a couple of events, but, you know, they weren't very well, you know, attended. And we thought that a lot of that was because everyone was just trying to run around, you know, get their shopping in, you know, maybe get childcare in place, looking after their own personal businesses and trying to keep them afloat. You obviously had maybe, if you have staff, you have staffing difficulties. And a lot of jobs have kind of been rearranged, you know, to work from home, etc. So, but, you know, now that you have myself in charge, I've embraced this 100% and taken on full responsibility for it. And I've really been kind of running it from the background since December, when Mary actually got a full-time job, and she kind of took a step back from there. So, I have been involved with membership groups in the past, and I have some very clear ideas on what should be happening on a monthly basis. And I've reinitiated some of the things that were in place before. And I mean, it's been a massive learning curve for me because I've had to learn a lot of new packages. Personally, I had never used Zoom before and I didn't like it, but, you know, I've embraced that now because I think it's a fabulous resource. And it's definitely been invaluable the last couple of months with, you know, scheduling the members meetings, etc. So that's been great. I'll go through a wee list. We had our first committee meeting on Monday night. So it actually went for an hour and a half. And I was intending to make it a little bit shorter than that. But the thing is, I had so many things on the go that I was really wanting to delegate to some of the other girls in the group. And I had a full list of things that I wanted to kind of get in action as soon as possible. So I'll just touch base on a couple of those if you don't mind. So we had the annual general meeting, and I was really delighted with the way that went, and I'm glad that we had 30 women there on the night because we had done a lot of work to try and recruit new people into the group. We had quite a few of them on the night. We managed to get the contact from East Ayrshire Council, the Deputy Provost, involved, and she's actually like a personal colleague of mine, so that was fantastic. We've also been able to re-engage the MP's office, you know, Alan Brown, who's in Kilmarnock. That's another, you know, real coup for us because Margaret Murray was a previous member of ABW and she's been delighted to come back again. So that's been fantastic as well. So we had a fantastic attendance on the night for the AGM. There was a lot of paperwork just behind the scenes to put together again. And, you know, it was a little bit nerve-wracking because it's definitely the first one that I've ever had to do or prepare for. So, I mean, I'm really pleased with the way that went. And, you know, we recorded that. The video has been put up in the members group, and, you know, people have definitely been watching back on everything just so that they can be kept up to date. So I'm really pleased that all of that's in place now. And I can take a wee sigh of relief that that's over and done with for another year. With the membership, last year what we decided to do was to give everyone a free membership for the entire year because of the fact that we weren't having events in person. Another focus on that was the fact that we wanted the members to feel that they're actually getting value for their money, that they weren't just joining and then being left to their own devices for an entire year. In an effort to attract new members to the group, we also this year offered a 2-month trial period where people could actually join the group. Primarily, all of our communication has been on Facebook, really, and the idea of that was to kind of grow the group internally, but to also re-engage people, because nearly everyone has Facebook, but we do realise that not everyone is on Facebook every day. There's been an awful lot of information that we have shared, but that's purely because there was a lot of files and things that we had to create and upload. You know, things like the guide is set up now. You know, and that just includes basic instructions that you might like to follow, or the things that you weren't aware of as a member, and it's something that you can just read at your own leisure. So the new members, we've actually had 31 new members since the 1st of January. So I think that's amazing, you know, and okay, these are people that are taking up on the trial, but at least people are responding to the advertising we've been putting out there. We've been doing press releases, sharing it to different business groups on Facebook and elsewhere. And I think that's actually a really good response. Some of them are personal friends of mine that already knew me before I joined ABW. And that's fantastic as well, because a lot of them are professional business women. Or they do that. Some of them actually have quite high profile in the Ayrshire community as well. So that's been fantastic. However, at the same time, I do want that the members that have been here, you know, forever, prior to the 1st of January, I want also all of those members to feel that their membership is valued. I don't want any of them overlooked, because, you know, they have been in here for the long haul. They've stuck with us as a members association. They still believe in the legacy behind Ayrshire businesswomen. And we definitely appreciate that support, and we appreciate the fact that it's still there. I think that's, you know, I can't thank all of those women enough to, you know, for staying with us, because these are the women that I'm going to for, you know, back history on the group. I mean, I'm really literally starting from scratch, and in a good way. I don't have a great deal of information about the history that happened before last year. So I'm kind of coming into it with a fresh perspective on everything, and I've never been involved in anything that went on before that. And certainly the entire new committee is also in that boat. Which I think is actually really, really good, because they have new ideas, and because they're looking at things from a different angle, and they're kind of going, well, why do we do it that way now? Maybe we can change this up a bit. And the last constitution, I think that was done back in 2017. So, you know, the face of the world has actually changed quite a lot since then. And we've had things like the introduction of GDPR. So at our meeting the other night, Victoria is actually fantastic with all of that, does a lot of work in that regard, because she was, you're in charge of ethics, weren't you, with one of the universities? So Victoria thankfully flagged up at our meeting the other night something that I hadn't even thought of, and she's asked us to look at the private policy for our GDPR on our website. And she said that, you know, she had a lot of suggestions as to sort of things that should be added into that. So she's currently at the point where she's kind of redrafting that for us just now. Also, we need to look at the cookies policy on the website. And then obviously we've had to look at the way that we handle your personal information in our members database. And so obviously, I'm aware of the restrictions with GDPR. I've had to put those into place with the Burns Mall where I work. That's my day job. And I had to kind of upload all of that to the website and things. So I knew that these things were there, but it's just nice to have someone who's a bit of an expert in it and clarify that for us. The other thing we have on the horizon is obviously the renewal time is coming up at the end of this month. I know I've posted quite a lot of information about that. And that's purely because I just really, really want people to stay with us and trust in us that we're going to do the best by you for this year. I've reached out to organisations like the Chamber of Commerce again. I know that they've always been a very active member, but we want to work with them more closely in the future. And, I've invited quite a few of their members into our different groups so that they can observe what's going on. And as a result of that, we're actually tying together for the Ayrshire, the International Women's Day, which is on Monday, the 8th of March. And we are co-sponsoring and organising an event which starts at 1 p.m. on Monday. So if any of you are interested and you have time at the middle of the day, we'd really like you to come along and join us. We have 3 fantastic speakers for that they have engaged on behalf of the group. It is free for all of the ABW members. They have confirmed that this week. For anyone else from the general public, they are charging £5, but because we're actually, I think, a premier level member of the chamber, they've made that free for our entire group. So if you want to book that, what you'd have to do is email a lady called Joan McMurdo, and she's actually their membership officer, and she'll set you up and then give you the link to join us on Monday. Hi, Jane.
Good morning. Sorry, I was getting caught up doing something. Totally forgot.
Yeah, no, you're totally fine. Oh, that's usually me at the moment. I have a real short-term memory as the committee. I've instructed all the committee members that if I ever forget anything, they need to let me know. So the membership renewal is obviously due. It's a very simple process. All of our payments come in on PayPal. I've been getting to terms with the way that the membership database works because it's tied in to the website. So a lot of that is automated in the background. And a lot of that is handled by a really good website designer called Alan Sloan. And I've been getting to know him really well because I've had a lot of changes that I've been making. And I honestly, every second day at the moment, I'm emailing him with something new that I want to fix. So what I've been doing is going in and testing all of the links and seeing where they go to and fixing some of that stuff up in the background. What we've done is we just wanted to make the site a little bit simpler. So we've actually added in a fundraising page on one of the tabs along the top. We've also moved the awards as a tab along the top instead of the bottom of the page. So it just makes it easier for people to find. We've been looking at the awards process. So we've managed to find probably all the information that we need to get that launched this year. Unfortunately, we didn't get that done in time for the AGM. And it wasn't done at all last year because none of us actually knew what we were doing. And then obviously we went into lockdown, so we just kind of left things. And I believe that the ASB have had to do the same thing. At the moment, Jane and myself and Victoria have been looking at the awards forms and emails that went out last year, and we've kind of been discussing potential dates to get that launched again because we do have the 3 awards. We will probably make some changes to that process this year. And what I'll do is put out a vote to the members. But in the past, we've actually always asked for people that want to enter into the awards to be nominated. And what they've also done in the past is also had letters of support from other members or maybe, other clients. Because of COVID, we might actually relax those rules this year. And we might just simplify things and set up the one application form where people apply on the website, but they need to apply there for the whole 3 awards. And we'll try and make the criteria quite similar for the 3. So in terms of the entry form, you'll be entering a lot of the same details. I think support letters would be quite difficult to get from other people at the moment, because they all have their own lives and their own companies to deal with. But obviously that's up for further discussion, and I'll come out to all of the members and do a wee poll and see what you think of that process. Internally, we've agreed that the 3 committee members, with the exception of myself, will actually judge the awards this year. And I've also approached 3 external judges who are actually considering joining us. One of those is Ayrshire Cancer Support, because they're coming on board as a fundraising partner for this year. The second one is Vodafone, because Kirsty has given us amazing, fantastic support with the match funding the last 3 to 4 years. So I've asked her to become one of the judges for one of the categories, and she's agreed to that. So she's delighted as well. The third one, we've actually asked Laura Rennie to come back and help us judge one of the awards this year, and we would like that award to be the Ayrshire Businesswoman of the Year, considering she's a former Ayrshire Businesswoman of the Year. So I thought that was some excellent synergy there. So, I think that'll be a really successful program, and obviously we'll tie into the ASB awards, because they're looking at relaunching their awards this year, and they're looking at having 14 different categories. And they're in a similar boat to us, where they, have pretty much a brand new committee as well. Luckily, they have 3 members that were all previously involved with Ayrshire Businesswomen. And that includes Lindsay, Danny and Isabel, who are all just fantastic, and they know everything inside out. So, I have 100% confidence that they'll run that ASB really, really well this year and into the future going forwards. I've been talking to them quite a lot. I attend I think it's monthly or bi-monthly, a president's meeting with ASB. So what we have is the women from all of the other affiliates groups, all the heads get together and have a wee discussion, and we give each other some updates and ideas on what we're doing and how we're coping during lockdown. Has been really important as well, because across the board, some of the affiliate associations have been struggling to get engagement the way we were. Some of them have actually excelled during lockdown, which has been absolutely incredible. And they've really, jumped in at the deep end. They've had all their Zoom meetings going, and they've been really, really well attended, because women were really finding that they really needed to be able to connect with each other. So I don't know if you're kind of feeling the same. I don't know if you've been engaged with other groups outside of ABW, or if your work has kind of stepped up to the plate and, helping you out with your well-being and your mental health. But I know that's been a really big issue. And I mean, I've certainly struggled during lockdown personally. So I know, what kind of issues everyone's been facing, and, everyone's had health concerns and being afraid to go outside and, catching COVID if you go to the wee corner shop. It's been a really difficult time, so, I've just been reinforcing the fact that as a new committee, we're here now for you, and I keep offering that if anyone needs help with anything going forward, that, we're definitely here for you to lend an ear, even if you just want to chat, or if you need advice, or if you need help from another member that you've maybe never met before, then I'm more than happy to introduce you. On the event side, I think the events we've got in place at the moment are going really well. The virtual speech has been fantastic. What I thought is I didn't see any point in spending money on having speakers to come in and speak to the group. So I stopped that as of the beginning of this year, and instead I wanted to reach out to the members, because we have an incredible group of members here who are all really talented, very knowledgeable professional women. So I thought, well, why not draw on the expertise that they have and bring all of them in to talk to us about the issues, because no matter what sort of information we're looking for, we'll probably find someone in the group that can either answer that question or offer some advice. you know, or has had experience with that. So, you know, and it's been really good because whilst I like to be as professional as possible, I'm really quite a casual person. I'm quite welcoming and engaging. So I'm trying to make this as simple as possible. And whilst it says it's a virtual speech, like on a Monday and a Thursday night, it's really not as difficult as that. And some people, like Anne, did an amazing job, and she actually pre-recorded a lot of it beforehand. So it worked really well. So what I'm doing is I've got all these Zoom events created in the background. I'm coming in 5-10 minutes early. We have a wee chat just to put them at ease. I actually make that person co-host on the meeting, and then that means that they can share anything that's on their screen on the day. So that's certainly helping, because, you know, nearly everyone's taken advantage of that. And with Anne, I think, was that the first time you'd done that before? Yeah. I think you're on mute, sweet. I think it was the first time that you'd actually done a wee video like that, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was actually.
Yeah, and it worked really, really well. Yeah,
you can kind of pre-record, you get everything. So I just spoke along to. I made the film show thing, and then I just did it on my phone. Actually, I did the audio on my phone and then put it all together. So it worked really well.
Yeah, I know that was a lot of work, but see, that's a really good video, as I said to you. And what Anne actually did is I suggested that maybe she shows us some of the behind scenes stuff. You know, I mean, I know how everyone absolutely loved the behind the scenes tour at Brownings last year, and they actually went crazy for it. And I'm sure that's something that maybe they'll do for us again in the future. But I think any behind the scenes stuff like that, I mean, it's good for you to show people what your average day is actually like. And, you know, I think particularly photography, you know, people just see the finished product, you know, and there's certainly things that you showed me in that video that I didn't know. And I'm a photographer, you know, so, but I'm just like one of those snap happy sort of folk, and I hardly ever edit or anything, but you just, you know, you have so much time behind the scenes that you need to spend on these things.
I think I probably spend more time editing than actually doing photography.
Yeah.
The kind of stuff that I do, which people don't, you know, realise.
Yeah.
But,
you know, and I think that's absolutely fascinating. So, you know, I would say to anyone going forward in the future, what I really want to do is showcase your product to the members first of all. And, you know, Anne's was a perfect example of that. And also, you know, and don't be shy, like showcase your everyday work that you're doing, because, you know, if people haven't had any personal experience with that, they don't actually know who you're dealing with, what you're doing, the problems that you face, you know, and also have a wee chat to us about, you know, the changes that perhaps that you've made during COVID, because everyone has adapted differently. I personally tried to speak to as many women as I can. It's been a little bit difficult for me because I tend to work in the afternoons, so I tend to ring people quite late of a daytime. But I've had quite a lot of conversations with people as to any improvements going forward. There's been a lot of issues flagged up, and certainly from even some friends of mine that have gone to future events. And I mean, I know that there are some incredible committees in the past that had everything working like clockwork, and they were seriously professional. But there's, you know, been a few gaps there where, you know, maybe people kind of had come forward to an event and they felt unwanted, or one girl, she said, you know, that we didn't have a phone number that she could ring. She's quite a shy person, so she just wanted to have a wee chat to someone before she kind of came along to a members' night. And I'm sure that all of those things were in place quite a few years ago, and certainly when Sarah was in charge. Because I know she's super organised, you know, and being from an events background, she would have had all of that in place, you know. And I've been going through all the archive box and the stuff from the past. I've been through all the past files and things. And I mean, we had lovely silver name badges in place. We had buddies in place, you know, for when new people arrived at an event. So these are all sort of things that I've got on my list to revive again. And certainly, you know, I've got like, you know, lanyards and all sorts of things here in the background. You know, I found the pop-up posters, which I never knew existed, you know, and I've got the awards sitting in the boot of my car in the wee boxes, you know, and I didn't even know that they'd done a speed networking night, because I've got this humongous purple clock that's sitting in the back of my car, and when I drive around it's like going tinkle 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 in the background. But I mean, it's just nice to have all of that background because we definitely needed it. So that's enough about me. What I might do is pass over to my vice president and treasurer. Her name is Gail Wilson. We met approximately 6 months ago, and Gail had just joined as a new member. So I'll pass you over to Gail if that's okay, and she'll give you a wee update on what she's looking at from her, you know, from the accounting side for the days ahead. Gail, can you just unmute? Yep, perfect. All right.
Hi, I'm Gail, obviously new to the group as Tamara has mentioned. I joined the group last year as a member, but I'm this year obviously joined the committee as Vice President and Treasurer. So at the moment, just getting up to speed with how the accounts have worked in the past. At the moment, obviously it's quite quiet because we don't have any physical meetings, but obviously that side of it will change, and once we start having events and so on, there'll be a wee bit more involved in that. But my role really is just to support Tamara, make sure the accounts are all up to date and obviously transparent as well. So make sure that obviously if somebody's claiming an expense, that there's somebody that approves that expense, and that the expenses are all above board and accurate. And that's about it really. As I say, it's all quite quiet. We've got quite a decent bank balance at the moment. There's no concerns, and obviously we're hopeful that we're going to have quite a few membership fees coming in the next few weeks, that will bolster the funds again for us. We used to get some funding from the 3 different Ayrshire councils each year for their juniors to attend events, but it was almost just a kind of assistance to the ABW, a kind of sponsorship type fee. So we're waiting to hear back whether that will get that this year as well. But at the moment, everything's quite healthy, and we're quite happy with how it's all going. And as I say, hopefully we'll get lots of new member fees in shortly, and then obviously start some fundraising as well, which would be good as well.
What we're actually finding is the handover on the treasurer's side is actually really, really slow just now, and that's not anyone's fault. It's because of COVID. So what we found last year is that we had to try and hand over the bank account from Isabel to the new treasurer, Natalie Spence. The signatory form, the signatories were going to become Mary and Natalie, and that form was sent off 5 months ago, and it still hasn't been actioned. So we're thinking that possibly it's become lost in the system. So, Gail's kind of picked up with that in mind. So we're asking for a second signatory form now, because obviously we've got a new committee on board, and Isabel, unfortunately, is, still being asked to make payments, etc., from the old account. So while she's not a member, she's certainly in that she's the new treasurer for ASB. So in that regard, she's, been helping us, and she's been a really big help, to be honest, and certainly in the past. So we're firing stuff off to her all the time. The PayPal is okay. We managed to get that signed over from Joanna Urquhart, who was actually, with the group for a number of years, and she was kind of one of the local Ayrshire Zero experts. So we've actually had that passed over into Gail's name now. So just so she can manage it 100% and get it kind of running, and, maybe get some of those old details deleted out of there that we don't need anymore. Between myself and Gail, we've kind of looked at all the coding on the chart of accounts. So we know exactly where expenses are going to be going, where they're going to be costed in the future, and what we're going to do is put together a wee budget for this year, and it's just a basic spreadsheet so that we know exactly what our expenses are going to be going forward. Once we can actually meet in person again, obviously those expenses are going to start coming in on a regular basis. I'm thinking personally we're probably looking at maybe September before we can meet in person. I mean, I think that's a conservative estimate for me personally. I'd like to do it beforehand. I mean, I would love to be able to meet up for a coffee on the first Friday of every month. I personally have taken out a wee office in the old business gateway in Kilmarnock. So I have access to the boardroom there, and I can actually hold events there. So if I'm there on a Friday morning, you know, once a month, then hopefully people can start coming in there for a wee coffee and having a chat to me while we're there during the day. So that would be fantastic. And then obviously Gail's kind of gone through everything, tidied stuff up. And yeah, everything's looking very, very healthy in that regard. And we didn't spend an awful lot of money last year, so there's no major issues there. What we have done is we've obviously signed up to Zoom. We've signed up to Sky Mobile just so that we've got a wee phone number for people to ring. That's just connected to WhatsApp for the time being. Because we don't want to go off maybe purchasing a phone or a tablet, because then we create an asset that's part of the group, and you know, obviously there's paperwork involved in that. So I'll just pass over to Jane, if that's okay. Jane is our new secretary for the group for the year.
Hi everybody, yeah, nice to see you all. I'm Jane. I just joined in January, and I was actually just joining as a member. I had no thoughts at all about taking on committee roles. Anyway, a quick conversation with Tamara, and here I was, a secretary for the year. I'm quite happy about. I think because I'm new to the group and I'm sort of new business and everything, it's quite nice to kind of get out there and get a bit involved in sort of groups and sort of meet and get to know more people and things. At the moment, Tamara and I have been kind of working quite closely on a big focus on getting the members out there, so that basically they can get a wee bit more PR behind them. So Tamara had started a campaign before Christmas by putting every individual member out there and like a member spotlight across our social media platforms. So I've taken that over, and it'll just be, you know, 2 or 3 a day, maybe several through the week, of just each individual member putting you out there, you know, picture of the person, what they do, just a little bit about them to give them that wee bit of sort of individual PR really. And just we're going to be working on getting through that through all the members. I'm also going to be working on just when the new members sign up and just bringing them in and sort of the admin behind all of that, making sure everybody's signed up and knows what they're doing and they're logged in and they're sort of welcomed into the group as well. And yeah, I'm kind of learning a lot of the processes. Obviously, this is all very new because I've not been in the group before, so I'm learning all about what happens with the awards and all the different email addresses for members and behind the scenes things. So yeah, I think Tamara and I are learning together on that one. Yeah. So just the processes to take and stuff. So it's a bit of a learning game, but that's fine. Every day's a learning day, as they say. So yeah, so I'm just on any member queries. Obviously, anyone can, with their membership or anything, can come to me as well. And yeah, I'll find the answer for you. So yeah, so it's really just by getting the members out there and get you on the spotlight a bit and showcase you all a wee bit.
Yep, that's fantastic. And I would say that, you know, individually, each of the ladies on the new committee, you know, obviously this is their specialty in the background. So Jane runs Aaron's social media. So Jane and I will also maybe be looking at a wee chapter over there in the future, because apparently they used to have one and they used to get together on a regular basis. So we've already had a couple of new members join from Aaron. Gail is based in the Kilmarnock, just on the outside of Kilmarnock, to be honest, near the Tesco in the Kilmarnock area. And she's, you know, a very qualified accountant who has quite a lot of clients and a lovely wee office there. And then we have Victoria, who's come on board. So would you like to have a wee chat and tell people about yourself and what your talents are? Because I'm discovering new ones every day. I'm like, oh, I could do with some help on that.
So I'm Victoria. So I joined in February, and within, I don't know, a couple of days, Tamara's like, oh, I've seen that you do lots of writing. I'm like, all right, yeah, I do actually. So I'm come on to the committee to look at the news stories and everything that's going on, and you'll see me posting to Facebook when I see interesting things on women in business, and looking at also other different bits and pieces that the government have put into place. So I only set up my business back in 2019 after taking voluntary redundancy from the university. So I sort of fell into that no man's land with coronavirus, which wasn't great. Which is why I tend to be looking at different things. Hopefully planning on having a newsletter each month coming out with information of what's going on, but also making sure that the information coming from the Association of Business Women and also the other associations. So I'm also a member of Scottish Women in Business, and I go to their meetings, virtual meetings and trainings and things. So just trying to make sure, and I was also at the Ayrshire Chamber one yesterday, but my business is basically supporting other small and medium-sized businesses with tasks that you end up putting at the bottom of your list because you don't like doing, or they just end up sitting there for ages because you're like, I need to get around to that, but I either don't have the expertise and it's scaring me, or I am, oh, it can just wait. I'll just put it off for another couple of days. It's not really that urgent. I'm about to put out some freebies for myself. I'm a bit of a bugbearer when it comes to documents and how they're presented, and also dealing with file name, organising your files, because I've worked in teams where there's been multiple people filing stuff and you can never find stuff because everyone files it how they like it and not in a format that makes sense to most people. So yeah, so that's kind of what I do, but I'm doing my little speech next week, aren't I, Tamara? So yes. I'll I'll give you more information next week when I've decided what I'm going to say.
Yeah, no, honestly, I think you've been, like, again, fantastic experience, because if you can take over the, like the press release side of things, that's a little bit of time freed up for me. We've got the newsletter. We did our first one last month. It was the first one I think we've done in maybe a year. I'm just guessing on that. Victoria's also kind of been working on some Canva images just for the social media. So we've got some lovely little professional pictures to share with folk. And obviously she'll be in the awards as well. So, be involved in judging the awards. So that's fantastic. So, we've had a lot of things to address at our first committee meeting. I'm trying to make sure that no one's overwhelmed. Which is kind of hard because I felt overwhelmed myself when I first took it on. But, I'm really, really happy with the way things are progressing. And I think every month we'll learn something new. We'll keep surveying the members. Jane Cameron has come forward to help us with surveying the members on a regular basis. So we keep getting that feedback from all of you. And then we can obviously tweak any changes that you want us to put in place. And we had some great feedback from the AGM that we actioned the next day, which was just fantastic. And yeah, so we'll just keep going from strength to strength. So what I'll do is I'll open up to all of you, because I know we've only got maybe 15 minutes left. So Anne, would you like to start? Just give, because there's probably some people here that haven't met each other before. So if you just do a minute or two, that would be lovely.
Okay, so I'm Anne Cromack. I have a little business called iCat Photography. I live in Largs. I photograph anything but weddings. Weddings are just far too terrifying, as everybody knows. So I've been very lucky recently, actually, between Geraldo's. They're one of the companies. It's Tony Dawson. I'm not sure whether you know, she's based in Largs, upmarket, as wines and spirits and confectionery. She's embraced the lockdown and tapped into the market that everybody wants to buy interesting, nice ice cream, wines and spirits and hampers over because they can't get out. So I've been doing hampers, photographing hampers, like every day I get another new hamper to do. And it's nice because, she asked me to do it, and then Max, her brother, brings all the stuff. I photograph it, put it into Dropbox, and it's up on her website within 5 minutes. So it's nice, it's very satisfying seeing something you've done actually being used, and you can see it up there, which is good. But Monday was such an exciting day. I got out and about. I went to South Ayrshire to Elsie May. you know, there's cabins at LCMA, and because they're unoccupied and they're in the middle of nowhere, I was actually able to actually go out without getting into trouble to do it. So I had a whole day out somewhere else, and it was really exciting. The funny thing is, I don't know about you, but not having driven very far for long, suddenly I'm, you know, about an hour and 10 minutes drive and through all the big roundabouts in Ayr, and think, oh gosh. You know, I had to really concentrate on what I was doing. So it just reminds you that how things have changed and how you haven't done big long trips anywhere. And
I was exactly the same. I didn't drive for 5 months and the brakes on my car were seized up.
Yeah.
So I've had my car in twice now. So yeah, I can relate to that. But you know, I was very intimidated to drive again.
Yeah, I hate the roundabout, you know, the one at Heathfield where all the lanes disappear into 2 or 3, and I hate that roundabout. So I'm always happy to get to the other side of it, you know. So I was going to say, I've been lucky.
Everyone can open up your mics now if you like. You might as well, because if you want to jump in and ask each other something, that's the whole idea. We can network. So thank you, Anne. Look, that's fantastic, and your presentation was excellent last week. So you've certainly set the bar very high. Marco, would you like to go next?
Yeah, thank you, Tamara. Nice to be here this morning with you all. There's 1 or 2 faces I know from probably Scottish Women in Business at Ayrshire Chamber. I started my business last year, so my business is McLennan Corporate. I'm a fully licensed insolvency practitioner with a big focus on business rescue and protecting jobs, I suppose, is what I'm quite passionate about. So looking to help any businesses that are struggling financially, I offer a free options review to any business, just so that directors or owners understand what their options are when they're in difficulty. Kind of targeting, but trying to target businesses at the moment who, you know, we're about to open up from a lockdown. People will be worried about the future of their business. You know, if people have got any, you know, if they think that they're, you know, there's a chance their business may fail in the next year or 2, I can give people lots of tips about what they should be doing now to protect their personal position. So yeah, just really joined to find out what Ayrshire Business Women is all about, and to offer any support and help to anybody who needs it. Yeah, so that's it. Happy to have one-to-ones with anybody. I mean, it's difficult to do justice to what I do in such a quick introduction.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, thanks so much. Thank you. It's really good to have you on board, and hopefully, you know, there will definitely be some members, I think, that will need your help in the future. Mary, would you like to go next?
Yes, please. Hi, everyone. As I said, it's so nice to speak to other women again.
I know. It makes such a difference, doesn't it? Yeah.
Just to network and just have that opportunity to share. So my business, I've got a coaching business, and it's called Mental Fitness. As you can imagine, based on where we're at just now, a lot of it is specialising in mental health and well-being. We're designing packages, we're working with a lot of organisations, a lot of companies, but my passion is with women. And if you want to check it out, I'm just launching a new package specifically for women that starts on the 5th of April. You can find all the details about that on the Facebook page, and there'll be a lot of stuff coming out about it. But for me, I'm not sure about you ladies, but a lot of the clients I've been working with, I've had women that have either come and they've got so many things, they're juggling so many different hats. They've been asked to be the business owner, the mum, the husband, the wife, whatever. And it's almost like we're brought up in society to be like either or, but it doesn't have to be like that. So it's package that I'm offering in the workshop that I'm running, it's a 30-day challenge. It'll be really good fun, but if anyone needs a little bit of encouragement of how to balance a wee bit more, or are struggling with purpose and direction, it's kind of aimed at people like that. I know I'm tooting for business here, but on the other side of not tooting, on a serious note, there's also a private Facebook page that I've set up there exclusively for women, and it's just a community where we share kind of everything that's going on. And if I can support anyone with their mental health and well-being in that, then I'm always posting normally at my expense, like silly little stories and videos and a lot of tools and tips. So you're more welcome to join. And if anyone's struggling, if anyone needs to chat, then just reach out. Obviously free of charge. I'm more than happy to help anyone who just wants to have a chat. And that's me.
Oh, thank you. What's the best way for people to get in touch with you? Like, do you have a page name, or is it just that they send you a friend request?
You can get me on all my socials. It's at Mary McClung Official. I do have a personal Mary McClung face, but you'll find Mental Fitness but it's under Mary McClung Official.
Yeah.
If you search under my name, you'll find it somewhere. I'm all over the place right now.
Yeah, and I think it's amazing that you've been involved with the Chris Boyd charity, particularly when we were just putting out the press release and everything based on the donations we made last year. So
it's been absolutely amazing. I got involved with the charity. They asked me to come on board as their mental fitness expert at the end of last year, and it's been an absolute joy. It's a different dynamic, a different demographic of people you're working with, obviously, because a lot of them are Chris Boyd fans and they're football fans, but the same issues are cropping up, which is understandable. But a massive thank you to you guys for raising that money and supporting the charity, because we've got some really fun things coming up and we wouldn't obviously be able to do that without the donations. So thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Well, that kind of happened before me, but I'm glad that I've been able to give it the publicity that it deserves. Definitely, and that was shared in Ayrshire magazine last week. And, I'm friends with the editor. I have been for a few years now. So I was just, it's just fantastic publicity. That's that type of thing. It's just so important, and it just takes one wee thing for someone to reach out, and they might see something pop up on Facebook and they'll go, oh yeah, I could really do with that. So it's a very good reminder of what we're going through just now too. Sarah, would you like to go next?
Yeah, I'm happy to.
Thank you.
I am Sarah Plant. I live down by Kirkmichael, and it's very easy to isolate down here. I'm surrounded by countryside and it's gorgeous. Believe it or not, and I always say at the moment it's a joke, but it's not. I'm actually a wedding planner along with my partner Tracy. We both run Sarah's Creative Occasions. We've been wedding planning for over 12 years now. And yes, the last year has been utterly horrendous. Let's be honest about it.
Yeah.
But we've done 3 weddings. We should have done way more than that. Hopefully we'll do a few more this year. But we do also organise birthdays, reunions, all these wonderful things that we still hope to do when we can get back to some form of normality. But yes, we are still plodding on. We're still smiling, but we do need haircuts.
I thought your hair looked really good, actually.
No, it doesn't. It's a big knot. I need a cut. And I was just saying to Tamara when I joined, we've also decided, I've been wanting a dog for years and years, and my husband has always said no, but I have now got my little boy. His name is Bentley, and he's a miniature Dachshund, and he's just over 3 months old, and he is a little saviour. So yes.
Yeah. I think it's times like this too, you appreciate having a wee animal around the house, or just some company of any kind.
Yeah.
But no,
Absolutely.
that must be amazing. And the thing is, you finally had to use COVID as an excuse to talk him into it. That's hilarious.
Exactly. I didn't plan that one. I planned a lot of things, but not that one.
Oh God, that's so funny.
Just picking up on something I think it was Victoria said about SWIB. When I was president of ABW, we used to have a relationship with SWIB. I used to go to quite a few of their meetings because they're great if you want to extend your network up into Glasgow. But we used to have a relationship whereby their members could attend our events at the member rate, and likewise we could attend their events at the member rate. So when we can get back to events, it might be worth trying to establish that. I mean, I know they change their president every year, so that was that was maybe 6 years ago when we had that arrangement, so it's moved on a bit from them, but it's nice to get out and about to different places and meet new people as well. So
no, that's good. Oh well, we'll definitely do that. Are they the ladies running the women's convention as well on Monday night?
Different. It's different. I'm a member of SWIB. So I can put you in touch with the committee there. But I joined SWIB 2 or 3 years ago, and it always said that there was this arrangement with Ayrshire businesswomen. But to be honest, I kept going to your website, and there was never any events on it. They're on it for years. So
seeing Victoria. Yeah, that's really good. So that's probably something Victoria will pick up on, I'm sure, and we can re-establish that relationship, because I think it's really important. And Victoria actually wants us to create like another page or another tab on the website where we can advertise these other groups. So there you go. That's definitely one of the first that will go on there. So that's fantastic. Thanks, Sarah. Yeah. That's brilliant. I'm glad that you've coped okay and kept going, and you really don't have any choice, do you? So yeah, I know. Tracy, did you want to have a wee word?
Yeah, so we had another wedding. I got married.
Oh, really? Congratulations.
So I've changed my name on Zoom.
Oh,
yeah,
I
got married last December. So
fantastic.
I haven't changed my name anywhere yet, apart from Sarah was right in there and changed it on her website. It's like, but I still got it on you.
Oh, goodness. Oh, that's great. Congratulations. So how was that? You know, you must have had to limit your numbers and...
Yeah, we very much limited it. We could have had 20 at that point in December, but we just had 8 because Colin's dad lives in a care home and we all had to get tested to get him to the ceremony, which was enough for him. But then we all had lunch and drank a lot afterwards. So.
Yeah, no, that's wonderful. You know, at least you still managed to go ahead and do something, you know, and it wasn't that bad before New Year's Day, was it? So, yeah, no, oh, well, congratulations, and it's good to see you today.
We're hoping we can get married or have a wedding, this December.
Yeah, well, I actually got married at the registry office in Australia, and then I actually had my proper wedding a year later when my husband's parents could come out from Scotland for it, and we had the piper and everything. You know, it was really nice. So we, you know, you can always do it next year. Just tell them you're renewing your vows again.
I'm 10 years in and still haven't done that.
Oh, really?
I organised my wedding in 6 weeks and got married because it just got delayed and delayed and delayed. And went, right, registry office done. And we're like, oh, we'll have a big party. We still haven't 10 years later.
No, it's definitely worth doing. Most definitely.
And I live in Prestwick, if anybody wants to know. So I'm a bit closer than Sarah.
Okay. Oh, that's good. But I have been to the Kirkmichael Arms and the Kirkmichael Gala Day, and I actually... You're right, it is beautiful, stunning countryside out there, and the pub has really good fish and chips actually. So Nicola, it's Nicola, isn't it?
Yes.
How are you?
Hi. I'm good, thank you. I'm good. So I'm Nicola and I work for Ayrshire Cancer Support, which is your nominated charity for this year. So I wanted to come on and meet you, start to meet you all and get to know you, and for you to get to know me, because we have big things happening in Ayrshire this year, which at another point in time I'll tell you about what we do, what we offer in the community, our services, and also about a big project that's just about to be launched, particularly, and maybe you might be interested in this, particularly around children and young people in terms of their mental health and services, etc. So one for another day, Tamara, I think. But it was really just for me to introduce myself, get to know you, and maybe have put together I know it's been very difficult over the last year with COVID, but hopefully, as you say, Tamara, come September, actual meetings can start again. We can start fundraising. So it's really how I can support you to fundraise for ourselves through your chosen charity this year, and do potentially different, more exciting things that we haven't done in the past.
Yeah. No, that's fantastic.
And raise the profile of Ayrshire business.
Yeah, well, honestly, the votes for your charity were unanimous this year. I mean, you know, it really was. Obviously, the support that you've been giving the community really has, you know,
we're so
it's been very, really appreciated, definitely, and personally as well. You know, I've obviously been using the transport service, and they were amazing. It was such a godsend, because there was no way in the world I was driving up to the Beats and every time. You know, and you know, and it just saved my family for having to worry about that and be involved on my chemo days as well. So, yeah, that's really wonderful. But I'm delighted with the relationship. So, yeah, we're looking forward to lots of very good things in the future.
Yes. Tough year for all charities, for everyone. Definitely. Tough year. So onwards and upwards.
Well, you know, you've had to scramble and change, you know, nearly everything that you do, and you know, stops all sorts of therapies, but you know, instead you've adapted and offered all that counselling support to the community for people that don't even have cancer. So that was just incredible. Really amazing. Well done.
As with it, I suppose it's like any business, you have to adapt, don't you, and you have to react to what's happening around you, and that's what we had to do. For the benefit of the community.
Really wonderful.
I'd love to catch up offline with you and see if there's anything that I can support the charity with.
Definitely, Mary, definitely, yes, that would be lovely.
And we also have Sharon. Sharon, you're on mute just now. Do you want to unmute and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, I've just kind of started up a small business where it's mostly art and like home decor items. And I've just really started up. The reason I'm on mute is because I've got a French bulldog pup that makes a lot of noise, and I didn't want to interrupt everybody. Yeah, so I've just started up. I've had the website for over a year, but I've not really done anything with it. So it's just really in the last couple of months that I've started to actually doing something with it.
And Sharon, I've just gone in and found your Facebook page and liked you, because I'm only number 2. So people go in and like her Facebook page, because her artwork is stunning.
Yeah,
it's
it is
really
gorgeous,
Sharon.
What's your second name?
My second name is actually Irving. So it's
Irving.
With a G.
Yes. And the company's called Urban Art. Is that what your Facebook page is called?
Yes.
So it's IRBHAN, Urban Art.
The actual Gaelic name for Irvin is got 2 N's in it, but I decided just to keep mine as the N, but I'm thinking of changing it over. So, just to get more hits.
Yeah, I think that would be a good thing, because, you know, anything Gaelic does, you know, then you can tie in with all sorts of things like tourism outlets and, you know, the world would be your oyster, really, all the historic houses and the National Trust, and, you know, you could have your items in all of those kind of gift shops that they run, and, you know, I think that would be excellent for you.
Yeah. I do like to like some
that picture. That's amazing.
I know. I wanted the blue vase, but it went like the first day that she put it up for sale.
Yeah, that's my problem at the moment. Everything's I've got so little in my website because friends that know me have kind of told their friends. And
that's brilliant. That's good though. But, you know, if you just
so much time.
Yeah, well, if you keep a gallery of stuff you've done in the past, then, you know, people can always kind of look at it and say, oh, I'd like something like that, you know. So, yeah, it's definitely.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah, because I make them bespoke to people's own choice of colours. So.
Absolutely. That's brilliant. Oh, it's wonderful to have you as new members. So thanks for joining.
Thank you.
Well, we've just gone slightly over, girls, but did you have any questions that you wanted to ask before we sign up for the day?
No.
No? Okay. So I think I've kind of covered quite a lot of ground today. There's a lot of information. Obviously, I'll upload this video to the group. Unfortunately, you know, I know a lot of our correspondence is going out just now on Facebook, but it's literally because we're just learning how to use MailChimp in the background. So there will be more emails and more information getting sent out, the various, you know, kind of different communication methods. And we've also tried to keep the LinkedIn group and the LinkedIn company page as updated as we can. So we'll keep working on that. But that's great. Thanks so much for coming, everyone. It's wonderful to see you, and thank you for spending your time with us today. I'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.